friends, it's Aromie here, and welcome back to our live Baxter DLC. Actually, here we are, we're gonna go do sightseeing. You're perched on the couch in your living room doing nothing in particular. It was a quintessential summer afternoon. The weather was warm and the mood was lazy. So far it had shaped up to be a pleasant day, if somewhat uneventful. No plans and no obligations beyond a few usual chores. Liz had already flitted off, enjoying herself. She left in the morning carrying a mysteriously heavy bag. You hadn't bothered asking her what was she doing or why it needed a sack that clattered when it moved. She probably wouldn't be home till late. Your moms both had the day off, and like you, had been using their freedom to do nothing of import. The group of you finished cleaning up from your shared lunch, and Mom struck up a conversation.
So,
well, what's next? Your mind was blank. You let the question hang, assuming Mom would be the one to reply. Ma, oh yeah, did I say Ma or Mom? I don't know. And glanced down at your phone out of habit. And right then, the screen lit up, presenting you with a potential idea. A text notification had come in. Baxter. Baxter's name displayed itself. He sent more messages after the first. You unlocked your phone to see it all. Hello and good afternoon. Oh, you wrote a paragraph. I'm intending to go sightseeing and will love it. Oh, he's so like fucking poetic with the text. And would love it if you could join me. You're quite welcome to invite anyone else along as well. Your phone buzzed once more with an additional note. Sincerely, your friend, Baxter. As if I didn't know who it was. He snorted at the screen. His texting style read more like a formal letter written with a quill pen than a text.
Oh?
Did your friends text you? Yes. The one I really wanted to text you too. Mom smiled at you with a raised brow. Gluing your face to a phone for so long must have been a big tip-off. You nodded before explaining. I think Baxter wants to go sightseeing. Wow, perfect timing. Yes, that's nice. Baxter Ward seems like a lovely young man.
Not bad.
He's a step up or two from the Donalds, that's for sure. Neither Mom nor Ma had spent a lot of time around Baxter as far as you were aware. They'd met him early in the summer, something unavoidable on this street, and had a few encounters since. I wonder where he's from. Ma didn't look to you for an answer, or her wife. She couldn't add to that topic and assumed no one else in the room knew either. It was a wonderment for the universe alone. Mom still pressed her lips together and thought. No clue. But what I'm curious about is, what is he studying in college? He's on a break from school, isn't he?
Well...
Yes, he did mention he was on an off semester, but no more than that. Okay. What does that mean? Just taking a little break. Once the Curiosity train left the station, there was no stopping it. The two traded questions back and forth, whispering with growing steam. There is someone on their street who is a stranger, a situation that hadn't occurred in a decade. What do you think his family is like? He's here all by himself. It fully sunk in at that assumption that you couldn't answer their questions was true. Despite how often you'd seen the new neighbor lately, he was still a fountain of secrets. Baxter had not been forthcoming with basic details, and it never seemed like a good time to play 20 questions. Seems like a red flag, you know? But, I mean, he's here for the summer. It's probably a summer fling type of thing. You found his mystery intriguing, that's true. It felt kind of weird to know so little. You wanted to change that. You didn't think that was a big deal. I mean, I kind of want to know more of him. Wanted to change that. As much as I wanted to do the first one, I do want to know him. There was only one thing to do about Baxter's mystery. Confront it directly. If he wouldn't lay it out on his own, you'd have to draw answers from him. You focused on your phone and the form of message that had yet to get a reply. You answered the question casually. He called out his hilarious message. You answered him. No, play along with him. Feeling inspired by his stiff texting tone, you couldn't resist having a little fun. Good tidings, Sir Baxter. Of course, I would be delighted to join you this fine day. I've finished my luncheon, so we'll venture forth to your dwellings. You hit send, unaware that the message wasn't exactly a high society Victorian letter, and a more medieval fantasy scroll, but he'd probably get the joke. It didn't take long at all for Baxter to continue the conversation. Brave night, Michiko, and it's heartening. I shall see you post haste. My highest regards. Yeah, he got it. You smiled and turned to your moms. They had moved on to wondering about if Baxter had a part-time job. Probably not, both of them were concluding. Hey moms, I have to get going to Baxter's. That's okay, right? Have fun, kiddo. Yes, do that. Ma's grin was as sweet as honey being used in a trap. You could see the ulterior motive from a mile away.
Please?
And if you happen to find out anything about our new neighbor, maybe think of telling your poor moms when you get back.
Lonnie.
Of course, I'll do it. Despite everything, Mom appeared amused at her wife's blatant attempt at info digging. Well, I'd be interested to hear it too, if Baxter doesn't mind his mystification being cleared up. To her so nosy, you laugh. You're way too nosy, scolded. Why don't you just invite him over and interrogate him yourselves? Why do you think Baxter would tell me everything? You let a long-suffering grown on their behavior. You smile at their... We're gonna smile. With Mom beamed back at you. It was one lucky break that your moms were so fun and lively. Despite the occasional trouble their antics could bring, you wouldn't want them any other way. But it is a shame he hasn't actually moved into the neighborhood. I can invite him over and get to know him better myself. Sadly, that's not the case.
That's a shame.
He's a young man trying to enjoy his vacation. He should be out and about, not spending his limited time entertaining us old moms in our kitchen. Ma slumped her shoulders while expressing her limitations in this snooping matter, though she mainly perked back up. It's different if he's making a friend his own age. If you don't want to ask or it doesn't come up, of course that's fine. I'm only saying that if you do or it does, that I'd be curious to hear about it. Alright, I'll see how it goes. I accept the mission, I won't let you down. Hey, Baxter has interesting taste. Maybe he's into... Well, we're not gonna say that. I'll never squeal. I will take those secrets to my grave. I accept the mission. Roger that.
Love you.
Thank you for indulging us, sweetie. I won't keep you any longer. Go have a wonderful day.
See you later.
You waved at them in farewell. You gather up your phone, wallet, and a water bottle. Damn, I am so hydrated. A water bottle and a few other odds and ends you imagine might come in handy during an unspecified outing. You left the condo your formerly normal but boring day rocketing off in... Wait, what? Your formerly normal but boring day rocketing off into an unknown direction. Baxter tends to have that kind of effect on things. I was gonna say, with Baxter, seems like spontaneous time, 10,000. Once outside, you crossed the street diagonally to reach Baxter's place. You found the doorbell and pressed it down. His doorbell was so much more reasonably placed. A second later, the man you wanted to see opened the door with a grin. From his quick response, you knew he had to have been standing by. You'd announced you'd be there, and he was ready for it.
Hello.
Hello, Michiko. Thank you for coming. Hello, Baxter. Hi. You waved with a sheepish expression on your face. At Baxter's obvious pleasure at your attention, you smiled in return. He stepped out of his condo and closed the door behind him to stand by you. I appreciate you agreeing so last minute. However, if you do have prior arrangements, this can be done another day. Sightseeing is my usual itinerary, after all. I didn't have any plans. Really, there was nothing to do. In that case, I'm glad today was the afternoon I asked. I've stopped in at least one scenic spot, tried a new restaurant, or browsed an unfamiliar shop nearly every day since I've been here so far. Oh man, that sounds like an amazing vacation. Whenever you, Terry, and Miranda aren't available, that is what I busy myself with. You notice Cove's absence from his list, though Baxter wouldn't dream of doing that to be petty. It was more like extending the polite distance he gave Cove. Cove would be uncomfortable at being counted among his potential companions without permission. You are impressed by his willingness to seek out new things. It was very proactive of him. It continued contently. I've only had a few short visits to California in my life. Even then, I was underage and supervised by parents or guardians.
Is that fine?
This summer is my first chance to truly experience what the area has for myself. It's also not going to last forever, so I'd rather not waste my opportunities. His bold proclamation reminded you of how fleeting his presence really was in everyone's life. Exactly as it suddenly appeared, it wouldn't be too much longer until he vanished back to wherever he'd come from. He was impossible to pin down. That is so disheartening and so summer romancy. I have to warn you, my moms might grill you on your life one of these days. So, completely unrelated, but do personal questions bother you? What the fuck? You're so elusive. I'm not wasting my chance to spend a day with you. Are you trying to be mysterious? He tilted his head quizzically. You're not around much, and even when you are, you almost never talk about yourself.
I can do that.
I apologize if I gave the impression of being opaque. I'll have to make an effort to be more amiable? He locked his door smoothly and tucked his key into his pocket. You're doing me quite the favor by accompanying me. He faced you again with a playfulness that was characteristic for him. I will be happy to tell you whatever you want to know about me. Oh, okay.
My pleasure.
Please query me at your leisure. If there's anything you'd ever want to ask, I'm an open book in your hands. It could have stopped there, and you would have expected it to end on a formal vow, but the exceedingly official-sounding offer was flipped into something coy and full of possibility. There are many things I would like to know about you. Oh, you want to know about me too? Alright, okay, go ahead. 20 questions. Go ahead. I want to know you better as well. You can ask me whatever you want to. Yeah.
Thank you.
This is a gracious offer. I'll take you up on it. Alright, you ask a question, I ask a question. This is fair trade. There's no one losing here. Unless the answer they give is like fucking half-assed, and you did kind of lose there. He voiced no question yet, but you knew with his granddad, it'd only be a matter of his patience. Instead of asking him personal information, you need to use your question of asking authority for something else first. Where were you thinking of going sightseeing? Baxter placed a hand on his chin, considering. Ideally, the first stop would be your choice, since you're so considerately joining me today. I may as well take advantage of your local expertise. After that, I can take you to a place that possibly even you haven't been to yet. I have a rental car, so it's no worry if you want to go somewhere that's too far to walk to. My choice will certainly require driving. I'm positive you've stepped on every inch of this town.
What do you think?
Does that sound agreeable? Letting you pick the first place and following it up with somewhere you hadn't been to before, despite living here for almost your whole life. What did he think you'd missed? I don't know, something out of the city? Maybe, or out of this town? Maybe it was the overconfidence of a tourist, or maybe it was something trickier, but he caught you off guard again. With Baxter's promise to tell you whatever you wanted to know, you hadn't prepared for him to still be so hard to read. You should have known he wouldn't suddenly get actually straightforward no matter how direct he claimed he would act. Okay. Unfortunately, the spotlight had been put on you, but his idea was fair. Baxter flashed his shiny white teeth. Do you have anywhere in mind then? I can't think of places that they're gonna give us. It's a selection. You pondered the request. If there was one place someone like Baxter should go, what would it be? Inspiration struck. There was no place more iconic around. Well, do you want to check out the shopping street? Oh, I guess yeah, that's technically one. You hope that he'd like it. You'd have to trust your gut on this one. The shopping street. Cove mentioned that, I believe, but I don't know what it means. Given it was minutes away on foot, you worried you might have offered old news, but it didn't come up on the map as anything other than a few of the permanent shops. You had to be there to know. It's a row of local shops and stalls by the beach. It's right near our neighborhood. Really? This hanging attention encouraged you to continue. It's meant to be fun for visitors, not at all the typical grocery stores or clothing shops or things like that. Everyone should go there at least once while they're here. Baxter made a grand gesture of waving you on to lead out. That sounds absolutely perfect. Please show me the way. Alright. Do you want a balloon? A pretzel? A phone charm? You oblige, and the two of you strolled down the inclined street. Neither of you were particularly rushing, and it still took less than 15 minutes to walk down to the spot. You skipped over the cement curb onto a worn gray bricked road and were there. Tantalizing smells and a mix of attention-grabbing music drifted from the open doors and outdoor stalls. The different songs blended into one new tune, a celebration for your senses. As normal for tourist season, the path bustled with a crowd of excited visitors. Aesthetically, Baxter stood out from a vast majority of the colorful tourists. Excuse me. But his enthusiasm matched your faces of all.
I love it.
This is wonderful. Confident you had suggested the correct choice, you let out a happy sigh. You continued wandering, but now you let Baxter direct the way. You merely followed along as he explored. He flitted to and from stalls like a monochrome butterfly in a flower garden. Tara had been more correct that she could have known when she made that comparison at the beginning of the summer. While you had memories attached to each corner of the street, watching his first experience there was almost like seeing it with fresh eyes yourself. You scrutinized the available stalls out today and realized Baxter would have a huge gaping hole in the experience. There was no magician performing tricks anywhere. A bit of shopping street wonder would go unknown to Baxter, even though he came all the way there. By chance, Baxter led you into the area where shows happened in the past. Cars that appeared out of nowhere were inseparable from this place to you. Watching Baxter out of the corner of your eyes, it struck you that you had never gotten close to a tourist before. Everyone you knew well also was familiar with Sunset Bird, or at least something in the area, but he was another one of the temporary passerbys. Sometimes people do performances here. It was too bad that he might actually never have the chance to see. Well, I mean, you can still tell him it's there. Oh? Yeah, the most famous to me anyway was a magician called the Amazing Alexander. The amazing Alexander. That sounds amazing. The sheer amount of thrill Baxter made you happy he had taste, though his electric interest was honestly more than what you expected from hearing about a random street magician. But it was nice, so you continued. You explained about how when you were younger, you and a friend had thought about doing your own show too. Derek and you had been enthusiastic, but never could figure out what to actually perform. It never ended up happening. Baxter listened with amusement as you expanded the story. You were surprised that you could recall it as well as you did all these years later. It returned to your mind in waves. And it was nice that Baxter was enjoying himself without seeing the show himself. Coming here was more than just showing a small part of the world you lived in. You had shown parts of yourself. I hope he knows that. Baxter. Anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. This is where we're going to stop for today. My voice is dying. I need to drink something before it dies further. But thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.